We are moving in Chapter 9. This is where we talk about governance. Most people think of change management as a slow process that gets in the way of work. But, as Archird is about to explain, proper governance is actually what makes speed safe. We are going to look at how to build audit trails and approvals directly into your code, so that your automation is always compliant and ready for any investigation. Let us join Archird.
Chapter 9: Change Management and Audit. Governance is not an obstacle to speed. It is the framework that makes speed safe. If a change cannot be traced, it did not happen. It was an incident. The speed without control problem. I reviewed automation systems that can set up 1,000 network segments in under 5 minutes. Technically impressive, practically useless. Why? Because when the auditor asked, "Who approved this change?" the answer was, "It came from our code repository." When the regulator asked, "How do you prevent unauthorized modifications?" the answer was, "We trust our engineers." When the post-incident review demanded what exactly changed at 2:37 in the afternoon, the answer was, "We'll have to check the equipment logs." These systems failed not because they were slow, but because they had no controls. Speed without governance isn't automation, it's amplified risk. This chapter addresses the hardest problem in automation, combining the speed of code-driven change with the rigor of organizational oversight. If you finish this chapter still believing that change management is something you add later, or that audit trails are nice to have, you'll build systems that collapse the first time a regulator, an executive, or a major incident demands accountability. The invisible risk problem. When automation exists outside formal governance, it creates what I call invisible risk. The change might work technically, but it's an architectural failure. Here's a scenario I've seen too often. An engineer writes a script to fix a recurring issue. It works perfectly. They share it with the team. Soon, 20% of network changes are happening via this script. But because the script isn't integrated with the company's ITSM tool, like ServiceNow or Jira, those changes don't exist in the official record. When a major outage occurs, the incident response team is looking at official records that are 20% inaccurate. They make decisions based on false data, extending the outage and increasing the cost to the business. The solution: the governance pipeline. In a professional architecture, we don't bypass change management, we automate it. We build a governance pipeline where the system itself ensures compliance. The change ticket gate. The automation engine is programmed so it literally cannot run unless it is provided with a valid, approved change ticket number. It connects to the ITSM tool, verifies the ticket is approved for now, and only then proceeds. The pre-flight evidence. Before a human even approves the ticket, the automation generates a pre-flight report. This shows exactly what commands will be run and what the expected outcome is. This gives the approver real data to look at, rather than just trusting a text description. The permanent audit trail. Once the change is made, the system automatically attaches the results, logs, before and after snapshots, and timestamps directly to the change ticket. Why this saves money. Manual audits are incredibly expensive. I've seen teams spend 3 weeks gathering data for a single regulatory review. With an automated governance architecture, that same audit takes 5 minutes. You just export the report that the system has been building automatically with every single change. Takeaway: if you can't prove who approved it and what happened, you shouldn't be doing it. Hard rules to take forward. Integrate, don't bypass. The pipeline must verify approved change tickets before executing. Answer 4 questions. Every change must answer who approved it, what was intended, what was executed, and what was the outcome. Logs are compliance evidence. Store them in tamper-proof systems with the same rigor as financial records. Preview before approval. Attach executable evidence to change requests so approvers see exactly what will happen. Automatic rollback. If post-change checks fail, the system must revert automatically. Limited credentials. Execution layers receive temporary equipment-specific credentials that prevent scope creep. Total coverage beats sampling. Govern the architecture, not individual changes. Test the reversal. If you haven't tested rollback, you don't have rollback. If you finish this chapter believing that governance is something you bolt on after building the technical components, you fundamentally misunderstood enterprise automation. Governance isn't a constraint. It's the reason executives, regulators, and auditors allow you to automate critical infrastructure in the first place.
Governance is the foundation of trust. When you build a system that proves its own compliance, you remove the fear that keeps many organizations stuck in manual processes. If you have ever been through a difficult audit, you know exactly how valuable this is. If you found this chapter helpful, please subscribe and leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts on automating change management. In the next 2 chapters, we are going to look at the unique challenges of working in government and critical infrastructure environments. I will see you there.